Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Quad Boss Lee, and today we are going to be working on the Ford Freestyle once again. Today I'm going to show you how to replace your front struts. Now today we are installing Monroe struts on this car. Monroe is a pretty good brand in my opinion, so it's kind of up there with Bilstein and all that. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty ladies and gentlemen, so we are on the driver's side. We're going to go ahead and start tearing apart basically almost the whole front end of this car just to change that shock out. So first things first, just to give us a little bit of lubrication, we're going to go ahead and lube our wheel nut stud with some WD-40 just because mine has a little surface rust, and then we lubed up on top because we're going to eventually have to smack the steering knuckle down out of the shock tower. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and start taking off our brake caliper. So you'll see up on the top right here is going to be a 13mm nut, and if you go down here to basically behind your bleeder right down here, another 13mm. Once you loosen those, you're going to go ahead and on the front brake pads, we're going to have to squeeze in the pistons just a tad to release the brake caliper. So use a C-clamp, obviously push on the brake pad, have a steady surface in the back. Press that, you'll feel it slowly release, and then you'll be able to swing this out of the way. We can go ahead and swing this out of the way and just have it held not by the brake line, but maybe set it on the CV axle or something where it just can rest easily. So go ahead and loosen those 13s, clamp the brake caliper, and we'll go ahead and get that off. Alrighty, so once you get your brake caliper off, you can go ahead and get your brake pad assembly off. There's on the back here, give you some light, there's a 15mm bolt right here, as well as on the bottom here a 15mm bolt right there. So take those out. You can leave your brake pads in, you can take this whole assembly off as one. Alrighty, so once you go ahead and get your brake caliper pad bracing off, there's going to be on the actual rotor, there's going to be a T40 hex head on here. Go ahead and zip this off. This will allow you to take off your rotor. Once you get that off, then we can go ahead and loosen our CV axle nut or our hub nut, which is a 32mm. So I'll go ahead and loosen that up, and then we'll head on to the next step. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so once you get your rotor off and your CV axle nut loosened, we're going to go ahead and take this little dust guard off. It's held in by 3 8mm bolts, one here, one tucked back here, and then of course one up on top. So we'll take this shield off, and then we can go ahead and start working on the shock tower. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to work on our shock tower now. We are going to loosen up the stabilizer bar link on the shock tower. You're going to use a 7mm to hold the stud of the bearing, and then you're going to use a 15mm to loosen the nut. We're going to loosen this all the way out and let our stabilizer bar fall out. Once we get to that, we'll go ahead and remove our wheel speed sensor wire, which is right here. We're just going to pull it out of this bracket, and then once we get to there, we can go ahead and start loosening our nut for the shock tower. Alright, so now that we got our stabilizer bar out as well as our wheel speed sensor, we're going to take a 22mm. We're going to go ahead and loosen up this nut on the shock tower going to the knuckle. Go ahead and loosen all the way out, thread that out. Then the shock tower will be free, but we're going to have to take one more thing off, at least just to get the steering knuckle to come down, and as our tie rod end. So you can use a 21mm wrench to take that off, and you can use a 10mm to hold the stud. Once we get that dropped down, then we can go ahead and start knocking our knuckle down out of the shock tower. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now that we got our tie rod disconnected, everything is good to go and should allow this knuckle to start slowly going down. If you take a rubber mallet, you can go ahead and see where we started and where we're currently going. Just take a rubber mallet, hit it gently. If it starts to get a little tighter, shoot some lube in there more. Maybe go to a steel hammer, but just be careful. You don't want to damage anything. But as this goes down, we're going to go ahead and see our shock tower disappearing out of here and coming up out of here. So once we get this down far enough where it pops out, we can go ahead and start loosening up the top bolts. But first things first, let's get this bottom part out, and then we move to the top. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we smacked it down about as much as we can. So now we're going to go ahead and loosen a couple more things up just so we have complete freedom. We're going to go ahead and remove the lower control arm. So first things first, there is, if I can get some light back there for you guys, you'll see right below the CV axle there is a 22 millimeter nut that holds on the ball joint. You're going to go ahead and loosen that and remove that. Next, you will see right up on this side of the control arm, you'll see, I know they're very dusty, two 18 millimeter nuts on top. There's our 15 millimeters on the bottom, so you can go ahead and loosen those. That will remove this side of the control arm. And then up underneath here, you'll see is the other side. There's going to be a pocket up underneath here, right where you're at. So right here, there's going to be a pocket. There's going to be an 18 millimeter bolt in there. So loosen that up, and then that'll let this lower control arm fall to the ground. Alrighty guys, so we're on the very last step. We have removed our lower control arm. Now we are basically ready to take this shock out. So first things first, have a jack underneath because we do have the wheel split wire connected, so we obviously cannot lay this knuckle down. While you're doing this, you're going to not only tap down up here, but you're also going to push the CV axle out. And eventually the CV axle will pop out the back. Gently lower that down. You don't want to stress it out too much. Then you'll be able to fully drop this knuckle out of the strut. Then once we get that done, we'll have it resting on our jack, and then we can go ahead and move to the top for the top bolts. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so as you can see, we have completely taken our knuckle and CV axle out, which leaves our strut just to dangle there. So now we're going to go ahead and move up to the top underneath the hood and loosen up a couple bolts, and that will allow this whole strut to come right out. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so we're up underneath the hood on the driver's side. You will see here's the top of our strut tower. You will see that there is 4 13 millimeter nuts. We're going to go ahead and zip those off, and that will allow the strut to fall through. So go ahead and make sure you have a hand underneath there when you are loosening these up, and that'll allow the whole strut to come out, and we can go ahead and start putting in the new one. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so we have mounted our new strut with the 4 13 millimeter bolts up top. Now we're going to go ahead and we put our steering knuckle back in at the same time we put the CV axle in at the same time. What I did was I barely got it started up top here, and then I went ahead and got the CV axle started, and as I went up, I would go up a little bit, push the CV axle in, up a little bit, push the CV axle into enough to where we are at right now, which we are maxed out at the top. You'll see there's a pin back there that stops us from going any higher. Last thing we're going to do, so we know everything is lined up before we put everything back on, is we're going to put in our lower control arm back in, put our 2 bolts in over here, our one up underneath here. I'll give you those torque specs in just a second, and then we'll go ahead and make sure our ball joint fits underneath here first. What I would do is what I did before was I put the ball joint in first, and then went ahead and put our 2 mounting bolts in the frame last. So I'll go ahead and do that, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so we got our lower control arm back in. We're going to go ahead and torque down our 4 bolts. Your ball joint here is going to be 85 foot-pounds. Your 2 15 millimeters are going to be 73 foot-pounds, and the 18 millimeter right here is going to be 111 foot-pounds. So we'll go ahead and torque all of those down, and then we'll go ahead and move on to the next. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so we got our lower control arm all torqued down. We're going to next put in our tie rod in. So we got our tie rod in, and you're going to torque that to 85 foot-pounds. Once you get that torqued down, we're going to go ahead and put our sway bar link back in, and that is going to be torqued down to 41 foot-pounds. So let's go ahead and torque that down. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so we got our sway bar link torqued down. Last one we're going to do is we're going to torque down our strut to knuckle bolt. That is going to be 129 foot-pounds. After that, everything is pretty much torqued down when it comes to the knuckle besides the CV axle. We're going to go ahead and just put our bolt, our nut on there nice and tight for now, and then that is the last thing we're going to torque down because we need the brakes to hold the hub, so we're able to torque it down. So we're just going to go ahead, put our 32 millimeter nut back on here, tighten it down hand tight. After that, we're going to go ahead and put our dust shield back on, which is those 3 8 millimeter bolts here. Those don't need a torque setting, just torquing them down tight enough. And then once we're done with that, we'll go ahead and put our rotor back on, and I'll let you know the torque setting for that. Alrighty guys, so we got our dust plate back on, now we got our rotor back on. Torque down that T40 to 9 foot-pounds. Once you get that torque, we're gonna go ahead and put our brake pad bracing back in. The two 15 millimeters, we're gonna put them on the back here. That torque setting for the 15 millimeters is going to be 74 foot-pounds. So go ahead and torque those down. We'll go ahead and start getting our brake caliper put back on. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so our last ones we have to torque down on the bottom end here is our 13 millimeter nuts that hold our brake caliper on. You're going to torque those to 44 foot-pounds. Once that is torqued, we have everything torqued underneath the car, which is awesome. We got one more step we got to torque, which is those 4 13 millimeter bolts up top. We're going to go ahead and torque those down, and then we'll be all finished. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so we are going to torque the last piece, which is these 13 millimeter bolts. You're going to torque these down to 18 foot-pounds in a crisscross pattern to make it nice and even. Once you get that done, we're going to go ahead and torque the last one down, which is our CV axle nut. You're going to torque this down to 148 foot-pounds. I recommend having the brakes on so the wheel hub does not spin. And then once you torque that down, that is it. Everything is torqued down, ready to go. You're going to do this exact same process on the passenger side. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'll end off the video. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's video on the front strut replacement on a 2006 Ford Freestyle front wheel drive. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful for you. I definitely learned a lot of things during this, so I hope you did too. If you did like this video, please give this video a like, and if you have not already, subscribe to Quad Boss Elite for more on the Ford Freestyle and all the other things we do. And well, guys, we'll catch you next time.
There goes a sight from my soul.